things to do. I appreciate you staying and listening in. So before I start looking at all the, now it won't be, I'm not going to be doing a correction, because a correction for one home just to do the, you know, paperwork can take an hour. That's not what you're trying to do. You're just trying to look at is, number one, we try to look at if things were aligned to the north. We've done that. Then we looked at some of the heights. We said that east and north, and we looked at what the height, the southwest should be higher, right? We talked about that a little bit. Now let's look at some of the extension and cuts. Some of the extensions are like not that bad. So let's look at this figure 1. Let me just save it for you guys. So this, so someone, is it Estrella? I don't know if it's Estrella, you're here. Somebody in the WhatsApp had shared a map where the northeast was a little bit cut off. I don't know who it was, or maybe on email, because people have been submitting so many maps. I don't know who they're from, but they are, I've been looking at them. I just don't know whose it is. So if it's one of you people, just let me know. So remember somebody, so whether it's cut off, I've just made a drawing where, you know, this is supposed to be the Vastu Purusha, and either partially or the entire head is cut off. So that is not okay. Does it make sense? Yes, no? But if in the northeast you have made an extension, that is still okay. Does it make sense? Yeah. So in this case, so my practitioner students, how am I going to correct someone's house where the northeast is not there? I will make an energetic boundary. One of the way that I make an energetic boundary is I take 2 yantras, or I take, like, depends on our make, or I take, ideally I want to take copper yantras, not paper yantras. And I take a Meru pyramid, pyramid structures, and I place both the pyramid structures right here. And then I kind of connect them energetically. And then what these pyramid structures do, they make an energetic boundary. So if you have 2 pyramids, you know how glass reflects light? You could have a glass. I have glass pyramids that some students gave me. I had one student who used to make his own pyramids and stuff. I'm always afraid a glass pyramid will break. So I prefer, so pyramids are, but pyramids reflect light. So having a glass pyramid with a yantra stuck beneath it on this side and one on this side, so it's reflecting each other, it's making an energetic boundary, right? That is one way of doing it. Now it has to be exactly, they should be able to see each other, in the sense, it should be exactly the same. Does it make sense? Yes, no, maybe? And now we have, by placing this, and we say now this extension is no longer a part of my house, it is an outbuilding. So we have removed the dosha of the northeast missing. So let me look at the participants. I don't know who it was. If you're here, somebody, I don't know who had shared where the northeast of the house was missing. Yeah. So I think it was Estrella, but I'm not sure. So what we do is we'll take 2 yantras, we'll place it together, we'll do a ritual, and we will make an energetic boundary. Now, in this case, even though the northeast extension is okay, it doesn't cause much harm. But whenever you have an extension, what happens? I remember when Pradeepa ji was buying her house a couple of years ago, you did so much Vastu. She did a lot of stuff for her new home. Okay, so what happens, even if it's an auspicious and non-harming extension, wherever you have an L shape, whether the L shape is here, 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 or the L shape is here, there's stagnant energy. So the way energy flows, it flows from the northeast and it goes to where the Vastu Purusha is, right? And it goes from here and it is going this way. So here it is going this way, and here it is going this way. So do you see what is happening here? So this area, the southwest of the home, can handle all that energy. because this southwest is naturally supposed to handle that energy. But by having an L shape, you have created two different houses. So you've created, this is a different directions. So this energy is now flowing. So this part of the house, there will be some problem in this. Do you see how the energy is collecting? So think this is the Vastu Purusha, and this is the head of the Vastu Purusha, and all his energy is flowing down his foot. And again, the energy is flowing down, but southwest can handle that energy. But you are in northeast, and this is northeast, this is northwest. So all of that energy flowing down here in northeast, which is air, is not okay. But again, simple solution is that we can either cut it, or we can so you don't have to actually, for example, let's say this area is a veranda, right? This area is a veranda. You can consider now this veranda as part of your home. Like even just putting a little, what do you say, you know, the awning thing in front of the, like, let's say there's a little veranda, but there's no awning. So if you just make an awning here, now it is part of the house. Now this energy is not. Or you can place a yantra here as well, or a pyramid or a Meru chakra. You can also put windows, use of windows to reflect so that energy doesn't stay there. Or we can actually put a Meru yantra, or you know, a three-dimensional yantra, not on a paper, but a three-dimensional yantra that will absorb that excessive energy flowing. So, and is it making sense to how you're going to correct stuff, Charuji? I want to understand. Oh, Kaylin, so nice to see you. You've joined us. So all the energy is flowing from the head of the Vastu Purusha down to the foot. Every time there is an extension, so in this case, this is the place that is affected. In this case, this is the problem. This is the problem. And look, there is another L here. This is the problem. This is the problem. And this is the problem. How many of you, this is a problem? So we are finding out the doshas in these plots. Now this one, a little bit here, even if it's a tiny L. So how many of you have walk-in closets? Anybody has a walk-in closet? You do. Everybody, usually every house, a woman is never going to buy a house without a walk-in closet. Kaylin, shame on you. You need a bigger one. We women want a big walk-in closet, right? Yes. So what happens every time there's a walk-in closet, or even there's a bathroom, they basically cut the extension. That means, let's pretend that this is a walk-in closet. This is your room. Let's say this is your bedroom, master bedroom, right? Let's say this is the bathroom, right? They have cut it. And this is the door, let's say. This is the door. So what has happened now? The energy this is big. Every time you make, this is now one room. This is the second room. And this is a third room. One is a bathroom, one's a closet. So every time you are making an L shape within your, wherever the bathroom is, let me change the color. It's going to make sense. So this is where the closet starts. So you entered the door and you see how the room is now like a shape of an 8. That's not how a room is supposed to be, right? That is me just writing a door. Please don't, Shubhaji. I'm sorry. That's my bad handwriting, and I'm trying to do it on with a, okay. I will try to make it again. My handwriting is bad. It was not supposed to go out. All right, let me erase that part. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to do this on a You know what I actually need to do? I need to find a touch screen to do this. I used to have a touch screen and it was easier to do. I have a touch screen somewhere. Okay. So every time there is like a bathroom or a closet, that L shape is being created. So in this room, let's count the L shapes. So just in the master bedroom alone. Yes, Stacey, I just remembered your drawing because the way you drew it, it was, I can just picturize your home. Yes. So it doesn't matter. Even if like some extensions are acceptable. For example, every time east is extended, northeast is extended, it is acceptable. Things that are not acceptable are the way northeast is cut or the southeast is cut. Northeast, southeast cannot be cut. Very, very simple like that. But if the southwest is cut, it's acceptable a little bit. So if the feet of the Vastu Purush are missing a little bit, that is okay. We can live with that. But we cannot live with the northeast being cut. So there are certain, no, Charuji, don't think of it as a problem. Think of it as something that is easily solved. Like if somebody's house is completely like a diamond shape, you really cannot do anything. You know, if they have a lot of land, then we can do something about it. Right? But also you have to remember that the house that we end up living in is a reflection of our own karma. We're getting the results of a karma through it. But most of these things can easily be fixed. I would say if the house is aligned with the north within, you know, I would say under 20 degrees. If the house is aligned with the, and then it is facing east or north or even west, just not facing south, that's it. Then and it's not 45 degrees, I'm pretty much, you know, we can take care of. When once it's 45 degrees or 30 degrees, then it's hard to correct the dosha of the house. It's just not worth it. Because there are so many problems that happen because of that. So so you guys have sent in plans like Stacy and Charuji and Mithun, you've all sent in your house plans. Mithunji, I will come personally to your house in Atlanta and do it because I'm coming in December to meet my uncle. So, you know, I already thought of that. So let's say you have like so this is fine. This is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But within the room, if you have something like this, then you're creating those L shapes, right? Then that's a problem. Yeah, I've already seen it, Mithunji. I've already in my meditation seen your house also, but let's see. No, I want to come and, you know, visit you. All right. So now go and look at the map that you have. But Kaylin, any house that is facing south has a north entrance because they always have a back door, right? So obviously when you have guests, they will ring the south bell. So you guys use the north. Now, my house here and you guys have all come to the house, most of you. It has a west entrance, but it also has an east entrance. So we always use the east entrance, our entire family. Every time we go for a walk, we're always using the east entrance. Only mostly people like, you know, Amazon deliveries and whatever, Whole Food deliveries, that comes on the front. Exactly, just use, so if an entrance is not used much, then it doesn't have a lot of effect. It's the entrance that the people, now, sometimes I'll even do this. I will park the car because in the northwest, and sometimes I'll even park it in the garage, which is in the northwest. Actually, garage for northwest is fine. And then I'll walk back to the east. Yeah, I'll walk back just to use the east entrance. So if you're using the correct entrance, that is more important because you are the one who's getting the result of the house you live in, not the person who's visiting you. The person who's visiting you is not, unless a person is visiting every day. If you have like someone coming to take care of your baby, Kaylin, have them come from the side entrance or back entrance. Yeah. And just to let you know, I did not know this. You can ask Amazon to deliver in the back door and they will take a picture of it. And I've done that. I know, Daniela, don't worry. Everything is fixable. All you need to take care of is it should not face the south. Actually, if it faces the south, it will have a north facing also. So even that is okay. Don't worry about it being aligned to the, like we just looked at George's house in, is it in Fort Worth? That entire area seems very beautiful. Did we just look at the Google Maps? We looked at this area in Fort Worth where everything was aligned in a square. So as long as it's magnetically aligned to the north, and the direction could be north, east, west, or don't worry about the direction. I think in India, we give too much importance to the direction, because if you have a south facing, just use the north door. In our house in California, there was a south entrance and we just always used the north entrance, just did. We literally lived in the north entrance all the time. So just use that. It's not a deal breaker. What's a deal breaker is it not being aligned with the true north. And even if there is an extension, that problem can be solved. Now, if you have a kitchen in the water area, that is a problem that cannot be solved. Yeah. So worry more about those things than the direction or the door or whatever. That can all be changed. So when you're looking at your own home, let's say I'm just going to make a fake blueprint. This is something here, and then this is something here, and then there is something here, and this is cut off, let's say. This is somebody's house. And we are only talking about the bottom floor now, because bottom floor has more importance because it's connected to Mother Earth, and top floor has less importance because it's not connected to Mother Earth. So let's say this is missing, not a big deal. So when the south west is missing, it is not such a big deal, because even if a little bit of south, just small amount southwest is cut, it's okay. But it's still making that L shape, right? And anytime there is an L shape anywhere in the house, now if you go and make a blueprint of your home, every room that has a walk-in closet, every room that is a bathroom, there's an L shape being created. All of those L shapes have to have yantras facing each other. That's all of that. And now if you have, like, let's say you have in your Brahmasthanam, which is the middle of your house, which is space, you have like a big pole, and it's a foundation of the home, let's say here. What are you going to do? Are you going to stop living in your home? Of course not. Cover the pole with the with mirror, add mirrors on each side, and now that takes care. So 80% of the problem, not 100% is, but 80% of the problem is solved if there's a, partially the center of the house is being blocked by a pole or heavy furniture or a wall. Just put big mirrors on it. That takes. Yes, Shubhaji, it totally works. It totally. And remember, most of the reaction you're going to see on the person who's making money, of course, not just the owner. So if you are the prime earner in your house, you will see effect on you. If your partner is the prime earner in the family, you will see effect on him. So let's say, Daniela, if your husband is the prime person who's making money in your family, then according to the house that you will get will be a reflection of, more than 60-70% his karma. Does it make sense? So children are not so much affected. Yes. What happens? The children and wife and family are giving their karma to or in case wife is earning, then the husband and the kids and are giving their karma to so that person's kismet, they say here, and that person's karma is reflected in the house. We can't there is no such thing as I'm going to change my karma by buying a perfect home. You will never be able to move in your perfect home because you have to go through your karma. So we will get a house that is in our kismet, that is in our karma. But yes, as long as it's aligned, Daniela, do not worry. Everything else can be fixed. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. So as long as, look at that neighborhood, we just looked at George's neighborhood. That looked amazing. I'll look at it up for you. So one thing you can, once you have a few homes, we can, you and I, we can just send me Google Maps and we can look at some addresses for you and see if they're okay. And there's nothing better than Google Maps because you get a true north, right? Look at the Zillow listing or whatever Redfin you're using, and then look at the Google listing. All right, let's go back. So again, if the northwest is a little cut, so for example, let's say this is your northeast. So this is the northwest extended. This is not okay, right? But if northwest was a little cut, you did, Stacy. I had a hard time finding you out. So if west is extended, that is not acceptable. That means we actually have to cut that area energetically with pyramids or Meru chakras or three-dimensional yantras or whatnot. But if it's a little bit cut, the northwest is a little bit cut, that's acceptable. Southwest is here. And if southwest is cut, that is also acceptable. But it will still make L shape. L, 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 L. So how many yantras do I need? So when we start, like, obviously you're going to do your own house first, or like I said, you know, when things open up, we can do field trips. I don't want to have a big crowd because I'm still social distancing. Small people. And then when we look at the map, every time there is an L shape in the house, you have to put yantras and corrections. Sometimes you can use like 55, 60, 70 in a big 3,000 square foot house, which is 2 stories. You can use easily 50, 60 yantras. Just in our house is like, so Daniela, my house faces west. But from the Vastu Purush, it's completely aligned. Its head is northeast was empty, southwest was office, southeast was fire. It had, or northwest was, so northwest, if you have, what do you call it? A garage, it was perfectly aligned. But I don't care. For me, perfectly aligned to the direction is more important than the direction of the house. So even if it's facing west, we just use the east direction door. So focus on that when you buy the house. So is it making sense? So now go back and look at all the extensions and cuts, and wherever there is an L shape in your home, that's what needs to be corrected. In the next session, what we're going to do is we're going to look at all these corrections. And let's open the, hang on. Let me open my correction. 1 second. That's a good question. And it's a good, you can, but even if you get pyramids, yeah, that's a good thing. We can look at the Vastu stuff that is available on Amazon. Actually, let's look at it. Oops. Yeah, so this is a good one. I like the one with Ganesh also. I have this. So can everybody, so once you get them, you actually have to, I have this, I've had students give me this. I have this, students have given some stuff. There is no need to spend a lot of money on this because people think they can, like the Rudraksha, this would be good in a southeast direction. Even if, just, I'll tell you what, if you go to, you want to save money, some of these are okay, but just go to, yeah,